I'm Leslie Baker, and I'm wife of Michael Lloyd Baker, greatest firefighter I knew. Michael was a volunteer firefighter first, then he became a firefighter in the military, and then he became a firefighter in a civilian job. So he had 28 years with the volunteer department. He had ended up with 21 years as military. They retired him as a senior master sergeant, and then in his civilian job, he worked his way through every single part of the job, from a firefighter all the way up to the assistant chief, and very proud of him. Michael was a humble man, didn't brag, didn't like to, he was very kept to himself, but he was always on top of things, very common sense, smart, book smart, just overall a leader in every way imaginable. He rubbed off on our three sons. We were together for 31 years, married for 29, had three sons, Joshua, Jesse, and Justin. And he was proud of them, a great father. They look like him, they act like him, and they have a lot of his characteristics. And so I couldn't be any more proud of him. Michael, as a firefighter, has been deployed 5 times. The first time was in Iraq, and that was when our boys were little. I've supported him through it all, 100%. I was always beside him through snail mail the first time, up until FaceTime, and always proud of him. And he was an amazing husband. He always treated me like a queen. Just amazing man.
Michael was my younger brother. We grew up a military family. He was a lot of fun growing up. Prankster. He was always playing jokes on us growing up, and we had a lot of fun. We really did. Brothers and sisters fight. We bickered back and forth. That's typical. But we had a lot of fun growing up too. We lived in a lot of different places. At some point in time, he wanted to be a firefighter.
He decided to do that when we moved to Carbondale, a year after we got married.
He started working at Hallmark just shortly after high school, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. He started at Hallmark. We met at Hallmark Cards.
Yeah, he started.
We're the true Hallmark story.
Yeah.
He ran me over with a forklift, and he asked me out on a date, and I accepted, and it was history. He was mine. I thought he was bald, but he was mine. Michael was always about helping people. Mm-hmm. And Michael is a family man. Yes. It was always family, helping people. When Michael passed away, I wish you could have seen. I didn't realize how many people he touched. But his procession went on for miles. People were standing from Topeka at Our Lady Guadalupe Church, which is in Oakland, all the way south to Carbondale, which is about 22 miles. We went through Forbes Field. They had a flag hanging with 2 fire trucks, and they drove him. He rode on the back of a fire truck. And it was just, Michael's so humble. He was probably screaming at me, "What in the world are you doing to me?" Because I had him. I said, "Michael, you went before me, so I have to make all the decisions and the choices. So I get to pick what kind of funeral you're getting, and you're gonna get a very deserving funeral. So I got him the best for the best. The brotherhood to Michael was just as important as his family. His guys that he worked with, whether it be volunteer through the military or in his civilian job at the fire department at the 190th, they were his brothers. You don't leave a man behind. He fought for each and every one of them. He would go to bat for them. He did everything he could for them. Michael was very fair. He was very honest, and he worked with his guys. He was about his guys. He didn't believe in mistreating people. He treated everybody equal, and he did a lot for his guys. He was all about his guys. They were his brothers. He worked for them and with them. He loved them. I talked to one of the liaisons the other day, actually as one of his guys on his shift, and I said, well, I'll never forget him. And he says, neither will we. Every shift we talk about Baker. I said, you know what? That makes me feel so good because it keeps his memory alive. Mm-hmm. And that's all I could ask for, just to keep him alive that way. So the brotherhood of the fire department, not only the civilian, the military, and the volunteer, they all came together and they worked together, and they brought us meals. They came and took care of things for us. They offered to get groceries. They brought us groceries. They did everything they could for us. They really, we didn't want for anything. They were there. They brought us things for my grandkids to do. We had 5 grandchildren. We now have 7. They just were amazing. The way that a volunteer department and a military, and then, it's civilian and military that work on the base, they all came together. That just shows that how a brotherhood really works, because when you can put a volunteer department and that type of brotherhood together and work that closely and get things done is amazing. They were just astronomical, the things that they did for us. So when we were in the hospital seeing Michael, my family had been up to see Michael, and meaning my sons and daughter-in-laws, and the nurse in there she said, you just have a remarkable family. She said, your family is just amazing. She said, how would you describe your family? And I said, here's how I would describe my family. I said, Michael is the roots of our tree. He's strong and he's buried very deep. Mm-hmm. I'm the trunk of the tree because I'm strong and I keep us all formed together with that trunk. I said the branches that come off that tree are our boys. They're growing every day, learning and getting stronger. I said the leaves that grow on that tree are my daughter-in-laws because they catch everything that comes their way. And I said the flowers that bloom on that tree are our sweet little grandbabies that make it beautiful. And I said, that's our family. Michael loved to hunt. He loved to fish. He loved to be outdoors. He was an outdoors man. He was a worker. But, what he really loved was his grandbabies. He really enjoyed them. And that's why I wish he was here to enjoy them every day. But he's watching over us. But Michael was an outdoors man. He loved to be outside and working, and Michael was all about family. Family first. I mean, family came over his job. It came over everything. I mean, family was his dedication. Family and service to community, and he was just a very humble, good man. One of the best. When Michael and I first started dating, we had horses. And I said, we're gonna go on a horse ride. And he's like, okay. And I said, don't worry, we're gonna put you on a tame horse. So we put him on my horse, Thunder Rose. He could run. But I didn't tell Michael that. So we got on the horse and we went riding, and it was me and my sister, who's 5 years younger than me, and we went riding, and we were going through this field, and my sister looks at me, and I look over, and I said, Michael, you ready? And he looks at me and goes, for what? I said, let's go. And we took off. Boy, we ran. And Michael wasn't ready for it. And Thunder took off running with him on it, and he surpassed us, went right through the middle of my sister and I, which I figured he would because Thunder was fast. He was a thoroughbred horse. And there was I forgot that in the field we were in, there's like a ditch ravine thing. Thunder jumped it, and Michael about come off that horse. He held on, but he didn't come off. And we finally got to where we said, pull the reins back. So he got him stuck. And he's like, never again am I going riding with you. I'm not riding that horse anymore. He says, you did that on purpose. And we were laughing so hard. I said, I'm sorry. I had to see how good a rider you were. I would have to say loyal. Just wanted to tell you that Michael Lloyd Baker was my one true love and always will be forever.
Here's to you, with that smile on your face. Here's to you, and what I want to raise to this moment we share.